He would always say to me, Mom, don't ever worry about that. I'm never going to change. But it didn't take long, you know. I think it was the power at first, the power he had over people and the deals he could make with Fertitas behind him. And then once the money started coming and everything with that, you know, his fame, he loves the attention. He loved the attention when he was a little kid. He used to misbehave sometimes in school, and it was just to get the attention. So I guess that hasn't changed much with him.
I have one of those children that do kind of the same thing. Now, I mean, obviously when this happened, let me ask you, do you think maybe the power that he's getting is to a stage where he doesn't want anyone to be an authority over him, including maybe you? I mean, do you think maybe that's what it is? Or just kind of curious, because, you know, I know that, you know, I have to curb myself sometimes because I'm a controlling, dominant person, and sometimes I have to humble myself to realize my grandmother's still my authority. Is this? Do you think maybe this is a case where he just refuses to accept anyone as his authority or elder or superior or anything?
I think so. You know, he said in an interview once, my mom and I are so much alike, we butt heads all the time. But sometimes I got the feeling that he thought he was in competition.
Sure. That
he was always looking to show that he could do better, he was better, you know, with me or with anyone. And with the power, when he would go in and threaten big companies
right.
and people, you know, and he was able to do it, and he still does. I think that gave him sort of a sense of superiority
right.
over anyone and everyone, that he could make or break anyone. And basically say it to them, too, and get away with it.
So, I mean, that's sad. And for the record, a lot of you guys that's watching this interview, you may think I'm biased. It wasn't always this way, but I'm honest, and I'll tell you right now that I'm not going to stay unbiased when I believe when I really feel towards one side of the fence, so to speak. And you're about to hear the story that she's going to tell you that actually made me a June White supporter forever. We're going to get to that shortly, but I have a question. You know, Dana blacklisted and blocked me and my partner Jason London, along with Lorenzo, immediately after our first interview with us on MMA Affiliates Radio. Word is that he's kind of doing this everywhere. I got a question. Why do you think this is? And also, do you think maybe this creates a better continuity and maybe brings you closer to your actual supporters due to the risk that they take? Do you believe that your supporters are 100% legit, you know what I mean, compared to, you know, Dana has a lot of fake supporters that just want to ride the kind of the success train or jump on the bandwagon. Basically, I was kind of curious, why do you think he's doing this with everybody, blacklisting anyone that touches you, and how do you feel that affects your relationship with your fans or supporters?
Yeah, when this all first started and I got on Twitter and the book had just come out, and you know, there was a lot of very nasty, negative things said by people. But there were some people who kind of stepped up and supported me. People I didn't even know. And actually, it does make you feel closer to those people. Here are people who don't really know me, and yet they're stepping up to the plate to defend me and help me out against people who are just writing some horrific things, sure. Personal things about me and my family and everything. So yeah, it does sort of develop some sort of a bond there. Okay, you feel like that person, you know, kind of came to your rescue when you were being beaten up. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's horrible to see some of the things that's written. You know, for one, most of the people, and it's just from my experience on your Twitter or on your Facebook, it seems to me that most of the people that are talking about you have, one, never read your book, never even had a 5-minute conversation. This is kind of, you're messing with my good buddy Dana. So, and these people don't know Dana either. Right. You know what I mean? Basically, they're choosing sides on something they don't even need to choose sides on. And this is my problem, is I don't feel anyone needed to choose sides. Like, I don't think I ever had to choose sides because I believe I could have respected you as an author and still like Dana at the same time. Mm-hmm. And this is what I think the fans should realize, that they don't have to take sides. I personally think Dana's treatment of his grandmother, which is coming up here, that's why I have a problem with him, honestly. And then the fact that he seems to blacklist and block everyone that supports you. Is this kind of... Let me ask you this. With that being the case, do you think he feels threatened by this? Honestly, I mean, if he didn't, I think there would be no actions taken at all.
Yeah, I thought when the book came out he would do something. I thought maybe he would file a lawsuit, try and block it or something. But I was really surprised at what he did do. And I don't know, when he started blocking everybody on Twitter, it was just so childish that I couldn't believe him and Lorenzo were doing it, I say to people when they find out that that's why they got blocked, that, they're a couple of, behaving like a couple of mean junior high school girls, that's what the mean girls would do in school.
Absolutely.
If you are friends with her or talk to her or follow her, then you won't be our friend and you'll be cut off from us.
That does seem like a little girl, like high school thing.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it like that.
Exactly.
It's either her or me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We don't like her, so you can't like her either.
And, maybe that's why, I think that may be even more of a reason why I support you. Because I'm going to tell you what, I don't like ultimatums either. Most people don't. You give somebody an ultimatum, they're going to usually tell you where to shove it. But the thing about it is, I honestly feel that he's threatened. He tried, like I said, to blacklist every single person. I was a firm UFC supporter for a long time. Covered, I didn't give you a chance to go to their events, but constantly was doing reviews, previews, all of that for their shows. And Dana's, I think, the fact that he's intimidated by what you're doing it's cutting him so deep. He's literally cutting off people that is money in his pocket if he didn't, you know what I mean? Like I explained to you before. I'm not going to go into any details, but I would be buying his pay-per-views right now, probably, if he wasn't so vindictive, you know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say about that, Dana. I know you're on the watch. But now the story, that turned me from a Dana supporter, obviously, to what they say is a Dana hater, is what he did to his grandmother. As a grandmama's boy, I have to say this was disgusting. So, for the people, I don't know how much you want to give, because obviously they need to buy the book. But whatever you feel like that you can give the fans, I'm sure there's a lot of them that still haven't heard the story, and I think they need to. But, whatever you can tell, I'd love to hear, because I think a lot of people, this is the underlining incident that they have to know about, honestly, in terms of his character.
Right, and that's what I think it does. It shows a big flaw in his character. Yeah. His grandmother, like I said, was someone who we didn't just see on holidays. She lived with us. She helped take care of him. And last January, she got sick. She was 93. She would have been 94 in the summer, but she passed away in May. Dana had called her. He had not spoken to her in 2 years.
Sure.
For what reason, I don't know. But
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. We had not called her, talked to her.
Were they close growing up?
She used to take care of him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he used to go back and visit in the summer with her and his other grandmother. He found out she was sick, and he called her, and he said, "Gran, don't worry about anything. I'm going to bring you out to Vegas. You'll have the best medical care money can buy." And so, she thought he was going to do that. And then he never called her back or followed through with anything, which I kept telling her, Mom, it's Dana. He's done stuff like this before. Just forget about it. But I ran into a neighbor of hers one day who wanted to know why I was there. And, I said, my mom's sick. I'm here taking care of her. And she said, oh, we all thought she was gone. And I said, gone where? And she said, oh, well, she's told the whole neighborhood that her grandson was sending for her, and he was going to bring her out to live with him and take care of her, and she had nothing to worry about anymore. So when I heard that, I don't know, it was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I pushed my final button, and that's where the book came from.
This story, I've already told you, it makes me sick to my stomach. It always has.
Made me sick.
Were you close? Were you real close with your mom? This is your mom, correct?
Right, yeah, it was my mom.
Was you real close? You guys had a wonderful relationship?
Yeah, our whole family was actually very close. Even as adults, we all hung out together, we did things together. We did family reunions when we were spread out all over the country. We talk all the time. I talked to two of my brothers yesterday, talked to another one the day before. So we were a pretty close family, and my mom was always involved in everything we did. So
it's a wonderful family. Quite contrary to Dana's he's alone theory. Sounds like you guys did a lot of family stuff. Obviously, I'm gonna tell you now, I've never been to a family reunion in my life. You know what I mean? So maybe Dana needs to think about stuff like that. I would have appreciated to have I got a family now. I can't wait till my family grows and then someday I have one or they have one, whatever the situation may be. So a lot of contradictions in terms of what he said. With this grandmother thing, you said you guys were close. Was this kind of the straw that I know you said this is why you broke the book? Is this what Dana has done with his grandmother? Is this almost unforgivable? Is this something that you think about in your head and you say, I don't know if I can ever forgive this?